Hello guys and welcome to today's video. Today we will be doing my Euro Champions League predictions and let's get into today's video. Group A. Now, fourth place I have Ajax, and their manager has obviously overturned from Erik ten Hag to Alfred Schroeder, and this can be a difficult thing for him. They have had a lot of outgoings, including important players such as Anthony and Lisandro Martinez, and while the good players have come in, they need time to gel into the side such as Steven Bergwijn. Third place, I have Rangers, and I do think their European adventures from last season, which saw them reach the Europa League final, will continue once again this season. Away from home they are great, and at home they will provide a very good atmosphere at Ibrox, and someone like James Tavernier will have an excellent Champions League campaign which will be one to remember for the Rangers fans. Giovanni van Bronckhorst is a very intelligent manager for Rangers, and I do think that he will get them through this group into the Europa League. In second place I have Napoli, and they have lost quite a few key players such as Dries Mertens, Lorenzo Insigne and Kalidou Koulibaly, which could be a big problem for them. However, this season so far they've started off like a house on fire. Victor Osimhen has been banging in the goals this season and last, and I do predict that to continue in the Champions League group stage where he can showcase his talents. One shout out for their Georgian winger, Kavica Kvaratskhelia, who is an absolute weapon on that right wing or left wing, which he can choose, and I think he will have a great group stage. And in first place is Liverpool. I think that they haven't had the best of starts this season, with their lackluster start largely coming down to that Champions League final which they lost, unfortunately, to Real Madrid. Not so unfortunate for me, and players like Van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold have not been at their best so far this season. However, I do believe that they will pick up like they showed in that 9-0 win against AFC Bournemouth, and I do think that will continue into the group stage where they will finish first place without any problems. Group B. In fourth place I have Bayer Leverkusen, and while they have quite a lot of quality in their team and should have no problems progressing, I do think they have a tendency to implode. However, if they can get someone like Patrick Schick firing, and if they can get Moussa Diaby running that wing, and as well as Florian Wirtz creating, they should have no problem getting through. In third place, I have Club Brugge, and while they may not have the stars that Bayer Leverkusen have, they have a very united team which is committed in one cause. Someone like Noah Lang is very exciting on that wing, and while he may have the ego of Zlatan, he is still a very good player. They also broke the bank to bring back Jeroen Jaromchuk to the Belgian Pro League, and I think he could be very good in this Champions League. In second, I have Atleti, and while they should be finishing first with the talent that they have, I just think they haven't done enough in the transfer window to sell their players and to bring in players. I think Diego Simeone is a fantastic manager, and he will get them through this group without any problems doing so. I think that they just will struggle to finish top of the group and will look a bit lackluster. Someone like João Felix, though, could have a great season this year, finally living up to that potential that he showed at Benfica. And in first place, I have Sergio Conceição's Porto, and while they have lost some big players in Vitinha and Fabio Vieira, I still back them to come out top. They've proved in previous years that they are good enough to get into the Champions League knockout rounds. I think someone like Pepe could be key, and someone like Mehdi Taremi's goals will get them through this group, which is very even. Group C. Now, Victoria Pilsen is fourth, and just enjoy it in it. Just enjoy being there, because you're not going to experience these teams, so I think they should just enjoy the away days to Barcelona, Inter and Bayern. In third place, I have Inter Milan, and while they have experienced a renaissance of sorts. They just don't have enough to beat the first two teams in this group. Someone like Nicolo Barella is silky smooth, and the partnership of Lautaro and Lukaku could strike once again. However, I just think that the other two teams in this group are stronger than them, and I do think they will beat them. However, they definitely have enough quality to get through here. In second place, I have Xavi's Barcelona, and they have brought in a lot of players this summer, and it's up to Xavi to get these players firing. Someone like Robert Lewandowski is an absolute goal machine if you get him right, and if you get him in front of goal, scoring tap-ins, he can be a 40-goal-a-season striker for you. The back line, it looks much better with someone like Ronald Araujo as well as Jules Koundé, which is two absolute massive players for them. And Ousmane Dembele can blow hot and cold. However, if he's on form, he's one of the most dangerous wingers in Europe. And in first place, I have Julian Nagelsmann's Bayern Munich. Now, while they have lost Robert Lewandowski, they are looking ever more fluid up top. Jamal Musiala looks an absolute talent, and someone like Sadio Mane could absolutely rattle in the goals this season. So I believe that they will go and score goals without any problems. However, it's on the other side of the pitch which could be the problem. Defensively, they are not the most solid, and at points, players like Lucas Hernandez and Dio Upamecano could have big problems dealing with players from Barcelona and Inter. So I think they will get first comfortably, but just. Group D. In fourth place, I have Sporting, and I feel a bit bad for doing this because they could finish first realistically, but I think they've lost some very key players such as João Palhinha and Mateus Nunes. However, they have kept the services of Pedro Gonçalves, who was pivotal last season in their knockout advancement. Someone like Manu Ugarte could have a very good season replacing João Palhinha, and I do think that their manager Ruben Amorim is a fantastic coach and definitely could bring them through the knockout rounds. And in third place, returning to the Europa League, are the Europa League winners, Frankfurt. I do think they've made some good transfers this summer, such as Mario Götze. However, I just think they don't have enough, especially after letting go of Filip Kostic, which was a big loss for them. Someone like Rafael Santos Borré has to step it up to score some more goals. However, their fan atmosphere could be very key, as their fans are fantastic wherever they go. But speaking of excellent fans, and we move on to Marseille in second place. Marseille have got some very good players, and they do have a tendency to implode in Europe, which could be a problem. However, someone like Matteo Guendouzi could show his talents in Europe this season, and I do think that could definitely happen. Someone like Alexis Sanchez could have a remontada season finally after leaving Arsenal all those years ago, and I do think they will come second in this group, just about though. And realistically, first place has to be Tottenham. Now, I know Conte's record in Europe is a bit shaky, but they should have no problems getting through this group if they're on form. However, if they do have a Conte-style implosion, then I do think they will finish in the bottom two spots. Someone like Harry Kane has started the season off fantastically, and he has absolutely rattled in the goals. However, he could phone it in just before the World Cup for Tottenham. Heung-min Son has started the season off pretty badly, but I do think he can definitely recover from this. Group E. And in fourth place we have Dinamo Zagreb, which I don't think has to be deliberated. However, someone like Mislav Orsic could have something to say about that. He is quite inconsistent. However, if he's on form, he's an absolute dangerous winger. In third place, I have RB Salzburg, and I think that this is once again a season where they will showcase their talents. Someone like Luka Sucic could make his big move next summer, and this would be a perfect spot for him to do that. As well as someone like Benjamin Šeško finally showing the world what he's actually capable of, and I think that he will show Man United fans what they are missing out on this summer. In second, I have Chelsea, and I do think that they will just bottle first place. They definitely had the most quality in this group. However, I do think they will just phone it in just before the end. Someone like Wesley Fofana is a great signing for them, despite the price tag being very, very, very high. And I do think that their defence is looking very good. However, their attack is very reliant on Raheem Sterling, and that could cause problems against sides like Milan, who defend very well. Kai Havertz isn't the best striker right now, and he isn't in form, but let's see what he can do in this group. And in first, I have what is the definition of football heritage, and that is AC Milan. Someone like Sandro Tonali has been going about his business in a very underrated way. Rafa Leão, when on form, he is one of the best wingers in Europe. And obviously, the Scudetto winners are one of the best teams in Europe right now. However, they can probably implode in Europe like they did last year. However, I do believe they are one of the best teams in Serie A right now, if not the best, and I do think they have enough to finish top of this group without any problems doing so. Group F. In fourth place, I have Shakhtar Donetsk, and unfortunately, the war has absolutely decimated them, and the problems with FIFA have been horrible to them because they have allowed Shakhtar Donetsk players to suspend their contracts. Players like Tete have been allowed to go on a free without any challenge to FIFA. However, they still have some very good talent on their books. Someone like Anatoly Trubin is a fantastic shot stopper in between the sticks for Shakhtar, and Mikhailo Mudryk has been attracted the interest of Arsenal in recent times with fantastic performances in Ukraine and in the Champions League. In third place, I have Celtic, and I think that they will cause an absolute atmosphere at Celtic Park and be an absolute problem at home to other teams in this group. Someone like Jota could show himself to be an absolute player, an absolute baller in this group. Somewhere against Real Madrid, he has an absolute task on his hand where he can show his talents. The Japanese trio could also be key for Celtic, and I do think they have every chance of progressing in this group in their first season back in the Champions League. In second place, I have Domenico Tedesco's RB Leipzig, and I do think they will be a bit inconsistent in this group. However, someone like Christopher Nkunku will be great this season in the Champions League, once again scoring both goals and providing assists in the Champions League. However, their team is full of ifs, with players like Dominic Szoboszlai and Dani Olmo that could turn up, and if they do, they will be a problem in this group. And someone like Timo Werner will be keen to show what the world that he isn't a bad player, and he is a fantastic player at RB Leipzig. And in first place, we have my boys Real Madrid at top, and I do believe they will finish top with absolute ease in this group. Karim Benzema was absolutely fantastic last season and has been at a slow start this year, but I do think he will find form without much long, and I think someone like Vinny Jr. could have a very, very good season this year at left wing and cutting inside, scoring goals, providing assists, being an absolute nuisance to defenders, providing such a headache. Aurelien Tchouameni will also show he is an absolute weapon in the defensive midfield, showing the world that he is a capable Casemiro replacement and will be an absolute star for the Bernabeu for the next 10 years. While Benzema hasn't been on the best form, they still have a 100% record in La Liga and have recently beat Betis, so I think they will have no problems. Group G. In fourth place, I have Copenhagen. Now, I don't know much about Copenhagen, however, I do know that there are quite a few good young talents such as Rooney Bargi, who you should be 100% looking out for in this group stage. At just 16 and Swedish, he is a very exciting winger. And Isak Johannessen is a very good midfielder for Copenhagen. In third place, I have Sevilla, and they have lost their centre-back partnership, which made them so good, of Jules Koundé and Diego Carlos, and without that, they have looked extremely shaky in La Liga, and when I mean extremely, I mean extremely. 5 games, 0 wins, and that's been the story of their season. They're looking very shaky defensively, and they cannot score goals. Yusuf En-Nesyri is finding it difficult up top for Sevilla at this current moment, as well as Rafa Mir, and this doesn't look like it's going to change very soon. Isco could have a good season once again this year, but I do think he will struggle and in this remontada season, and I do think that Eric Lamela, he could provide a good outlet on that right wing, but I do think they will struggle this season and struggle to get out of this group. In second, I have Dortmund, and by no means do I trust Dortmund, but defensively they look better with Nico Schlotterbeck and Niklas Süle, but not fantastic defensively still. But in midfield they've got a fantastic player in Jude Bellingham, who can show the world finally buy him from Dortmund. And I do think he will have a great breakout season once again to show he's world class. Yusufa Moukoko could have a good season after Aseb Haller was unfortunately diagnosed with testicular cancer. So the best of recoveries to him, but I think Moukoko could do fantastic. And Jamie Bino Gittens could prove to be a very, very exciting winger for Dortmund this season. But in first place, I have the ever-present juggernaut that is Manchester City, and I just can't see anything else but Man City topping this group. Erling Haaland will be returning to Dortmund, and he will be absolutely spanking in the goals like he's been doing so far in the Premier League. Man City's squad is filled from quality from top to bottom, with players like Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez and Joao Cancelo all providing goals for Erling Haaland. So I do think that someone like Cole Palmer will get an opportunity in this group stage to prove himself to the Man City faithful. And finally, in Group H, we have Maccabi Haifa in 4th place. Now, I don't know much about Maccabi Haifa, but what I have to say is you have to be half decent to make the Champions League, especially with the route they took, which was by no means an easy route. So I do think they will finish 4th, but they will have a bit of fight. In third, I have Roger Schmidt's Benfica, and domestically they haven't been good in recent years, however continentally they've been superb. They have brought in quite a few good players, such as skillful winger Devin Neres from Shakhtar Donetsk, as well as ex-Germany international Julian Draxler, who will be an absolute good player for them in the midfield, as well as someone like Enzo Fernandez, who has been proving fantastic since his buy from River Plate, and I do think they will challenge the second place team in this group, but they will finish just short. And in second place, we have Juventus. Now, I do think Juventus aren't very good, like they proved in pre-season and so far this season. However, Angel Di Maria will prove to be a fantastic purchase from them on a free transfer, and he will have to be fantastic for them to progress. Someone like Dusan Vlahovic will show his goals and will bang in the goals this season. And Max Allegri's tactics aren't very, very good, but they will just about do enough defensively so that they will get through this group. And in first place, I have PSG, and I think that they should be finishing first with relative ease in this group, to be totally honest. I think they shouldn't be challenged, and so although there are problems in the PSG dressing room with Neymar and Mbappe, I think they will resolve that just before the group stage and they would have no problems getting through. Someone like Vitinha has been fantastic already this season, showing himself to be a fantastic purchase for just 40 million euros. And someone like Fabian Ruiz provides excellent depth in behind them, and I think he will be fantastic for them. Renato Sanchez is an excellent buy as well, and he's a very, very good dribbler. And someone like Carlos Soler will provide excellent squad options. So that's it for today's UCL predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you disagree with down in the comments, but that's it for today's videos. I hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.